This part's gone, right?
Yeah.
That's the head.
So that's the head part that's
the
gone.
bigger part, it's gone.
The bigger part is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what we do, this is the next picture, is that you reconnect things. So this is what is gone. So there's a bit of stomach left. The bile duct is up there. All of the grey bits are gone. The pancreas is cut through there. And then you bring that bowel up and you connect it to everything. So you connect it to the pancreas, that you can see there. You connect it to the bile duct. And then it's a slightly different configuration. Here, this is very schematic. But then you connect the stomach or the duodenum into it. And this distance is usually bigger, not that short. So it's quite a substantial loop of bowel that comes down, and then you bring it around and you do the last hookup with the stomach. That's how it works. Now, what we did see is this here seems to be dilated. In other words, it's not as narrow as the bowel should be, because that part, there's no food coming through it. It's basically just pancreatic juice and bile that runs through it, but it's widened. And I think I showed you that on the previous imaging.
Yeah.
Let me just get it. See on the examination, unfortunately I don't have the images, but I had actually a Zoom meeting with a radiologist or the nuclear physician, Marguerite Morkel.
Yeah,
so you can
very nice.
Yeah, so you can see what is here. That come on. So small bowel normally, there you see small bowel.
Yeah.
It's sort of all over the abdomen. There you see a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you see this piece of bowel just below the liver there. That there.
Yeah.
That is small bowel.
Right.
And that is the area where the drainage of the pancreas comes into. Just get there.
So the bile drains into that area of the...
Yeah, the bile drains into that area that you see there.
Yeah.
And the pancreas drains into that area that you see there. That very dilated bowel. It's quite wide. And what we thought was that just lower down there, but before you get to the stomach, in other words, if we go to this picture again, somewhere between there and there, and this is much longer, it's usually about that long, because you take it around as a loop, but there's a narrowing there.
Oh, but you found that it's wider.
Yeah, but the narrowing causes that to be wider. You see, so think about fluid going down, and there's a narrowing where it has to get through, and it builds up on this side. You get it?
No, I understand.
Yeah. And what we then did is to do a functional test, where we gave you an isotope that goes out through the liver, and then it goes down through that into this, and then they measure how quickly does it go down.
Okay, that's, I was there for
and
5
it did
hours.
it did show, because it takes a while for it to get there, they did see that it stays in this area too long.
And that's what you think is causing the septicemia?
Yeah, so because the moment there's, I think we said that as well, if you're in the mountain and there's a stream running, even if there are bacteria in it, there's always bacteria, you can drink it. It's not a high bacteria.
As long as it's running.
Yeah. But the moment it stops running and there's a pool, you won't drink that water because there's an overgrowth of bacteria. Very much the same thing in the bowel. So the fact that there's stasis, in other words, that there's a pool staying there, give you... So the problem, I don't think, is there. I think the problem is here. That anastomosis, I don't think, is narrow. The liver empties well. Because we can see now. The liver empties well, but that the contrast, the isotope hangs around here, and that gives us an indication that it doesn't flow out as quick as it should. So think about a little pool in the mountain, and there's overgrowth of bacteria, and those things can sometimes go up. So the flow up there is probably okay, but sometimes you will get a little bit of backing into there with bacteria, and that would cause the cholangitis, because we cannot see really on your liver any dilated bile ducts.
Well, that's good.
That's very good.
So so if there had been dilated bile ducts, that would have been where you would have put the stent.
There we would have put a
So
stent.
actually, would it have been better to have that rather than now? Because
Well, in a way, yes, but it's also very difficult to get there. And the other thing, it's not an easy place to get to. So if we look at your bile ducts here, see those little black spots that you see there?
Yeah.
That's air in the bile ducts
Right.
because of this bowel connected to it. But nowhere here you can see dilated bile ducts very clearly if they're there. You definitely don't have any dilated bile ducts. I mean, it's so close to normal that you can't actually
Oh, I see.
really see